What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put that on all so you get notified straight away as soon as any new content drops on this channel. So without further ado, let's get into this one. First of all, want to say, of course, rest in peace to Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth. Died yesterday, 96 years old, and my condolences go out to all of the royal family and everyone connected with that. Definitely RIP, and sending blessings, thoughts and prayers with the royal family at this time. And yeah, let's get into this one. So it's about this latest saga between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Now, as all of you boxing fans will know, Tyson Fury has been calling out Anthony Joshua lately. This week, he's been saying, get ready, you're match fit, you've had a 12-round fight, you're ready, you're match fit, get in there with me. There's been dates getting thrown around. There was the December date that got thrown around. I think November was another one, some point late in November. And Team Fury seems to be pretty insistent upon the fight being in November. But there's a bit of a contradiction because apparently, according to what Eddie Hearn has said, and I think perhaps Frank Warren, I'm not too sure, they also had the Principality Stadium booked for, or reserved in some way for December the 17th. So there's a bit of contradictory information coming out there, but Fury seems to be pulling out all the stops now to get Anthony Joshua in the ring. Latest on it is also that Fury has, in his own words, offered Anthony Joshua the generous thing of 60-40 split, and he said, well, that's a nice split for you, Battle of Britain, let's have it, sort of thing. And I'm the champion, you're coming off 2 losses, but you know what, I'll give you 60-40. I'm not going to be unreasonable. I'm not going to do 80-20. I'm not going to do 70-30. I'm going to give you a good split of 60-40. And it's all a bit interesting with Tyson Fury because you never really know how serious he's being or whether he's even being serious at all, because this is the same Tyson Fury who was recently talking about fighting for £500 million or $500 million against Alexander Usyk. And this is also the same Tyson Fury who said that he would fight Anthony Joshua for free on free television in the UK. That was what he was saying, and he was swearing by it that, yeah, I'll box him for free in Britain for free TV. I'm not going to be like AJ, going to a different country, going to some foreign country to get more money, blah, blah, blah. I want it for free. Then it was $500 million. And then now we're hearing the talk of, he's gone from not really caring about the money and doing it for free to now $500 million. And now he's talking about, well, I'm the A side and it's 60-40, take it or leave it. I think he even put like a 24-hour deadline on this fight. So I think as of right now, AJ must have or should have made his mind up according, the so-called deadline, I think would have been by today or whatever. So yeah, it's an interesting saga. There's multiple parties involved. I also listened to a few people on it. I listened to Bob Arum speaking about it, and unlike Frank Warren, who's quite positive and said, we sent out an offer and blah blah blah, it's up to their side to stew on it, to think about it. And I also listened to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said he's been having some positive talks with George Warren, Frank Warren's son, so they've been discussing it over the phone. He said he's never actually met Frank Warren, but he said, Frank Warren's son George seems to be reasonable and all that. So I assume, from what Hearn was saying, the talks seem to be going okay, but he's still kind of skeptical, and he still doesn't trust it 100% that it's going to happen. And he's got every right to. Because even Bob Arum was asked about it by several platforms. I think IFL TV, Boxing Social, those are two I listen to, but I'm sure there's other platforms out there that he spoke to. And Bob Arum said what I basically think about the whole situation, about what Joshua should do. And he said that, look, Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, I don't think it happens next. I don't think it happens in December, because it would be a stupid idea for Anthony Joshua to fight Tyson Fury. He's coming off of 2 losses. What he needs to do is go back to the drawing board, fight some guys perhaps in the top 15, just fight some guys to rebuild himself, and then look at taking on, then, no, that's not, he said, basically Joshua should take a rest, take warm-up fights, take fights to rebuild himself, and then Fury versus Usyk should happen instead of Joshua versus Usyk. And then after that, provided Joshua wins his rebuilding fights and he's rebuilding himself, and he gets some wins back under his belt, then he should take on the winner of Fury versus Usyk, rather than just jumping straight into Tyson Fury fight. Because at the end of the day, from what Aram's saying, and definitely what I'm saying, Anthony Joshua, as much as from a PR perspective and from the perspective of the public, he's gonna, he'll kind of look bad in people's eyes if he doesn't take this fight, because there'll be people who will believe Tyson Fury's narrative because he's brilliant at spinning narratives, and a lot of people will sort of call him a coward and say he doesn't want a real fight, and Fury's tossing him a lifeline, as they said on TalkSport, and all this sort of thing, and by him not taking it, he's a coward and blah blah blah, and in certain ways it will look bad on him if he doesn't take it. But at the same time, I would argue that it's not a wise move, just as Bob Arum said, for him to take it, because I don't think he's mentally in the right place, coming off of the 2 losses. I'm not sure if he's confident enough to take on Tyson Fury and win at this stage of his career. I get the feeling that he needs rehabilitation fights. He needs fights to sort of build up his confidence again, and he needs wins. He needs to get some wins in there. He needs to rest. There's a lot that he needs to do, to give himself the best chance of beating Tyson Fury, because I think going into it right now, he'd be at a tremendous disadvantage, and I think that's at least part of the reason why Tyson Fury is making this offer. I think Tyson Fury is a very clever guy. He's a guy that knows when to pick people. He knows who to pick and when to pick the fights. And I think this is a classic case of that, because if Fury was about the legacy, then he would just say, okay, Usyk is not ready for December. Let me just wait for him when he wants to fight. So beginning of 2023, he fights Usyk for undisputed. I think if he was about legacy and all that sort of stuff, that's what he would do. But I think he's kind of about the money, because he knows that obviously we've seen AJ at his worst in the first Usyk fight, and we've seen bits of improvement in the second Usyk fight, but obviously AJ is going to be in a low place mentally. He's going to be in sort of a low place. So picking AJ now to beat him now is a very clever move by Tyson Fury. But I think from Joshua's perspective, I suppose it would be a tremendous upset if he did pull off the victory versus Tyson Fury, but that upset is very, very unlikely. But then I suppose you could argue, well, that's why it's called an upset, because it's very unlikely to happen and they don't happen very often. So I think the only upside for Joshua here really is if he pulls off a great performance and somehow beats Tyson Fury and beats him very convincingly. Even if he were to beat him on some sort of split decision, as long as he gets the victory, I think that would be a tremendous thing, and that would, that would rocket AJ's career and put him right back on top again. You know what I mean? And that would be a great thing for him. But I think if he takes it right now, it's not giving himself the best opportunity. I think, yes, money-wise, a great opportunity, and you're getting to fight this champion and blah blah blah. But I think in order for him to stand the best chance of winning this fight, he needs those rebuilding fights. To get himself in the right mindset, the right headspace, get back in the winning column. Fight a few guys that you're gonna beat, just for the sake of ironing out whatever imperfections you have in your game. He needs to iron out quite a lot of things in his game, and then get ready, and then you fight Tyson Fury. I mean, I suppose the counter to that could be that, well, if he doesn't take this fight now and he doesn't fight Tyson Fury now, Tyson Fury can spin the narrative and say, well, when I offered him the fight, he said he wasn't ready. He said he doesn't want to fight right now at this point, so I'm never going to give him that chance again. I'm never going to fight him, blah, blah, blah. And Tyson Fury could walk off and just, he could just fight Emmanuel Char or whatever low-level competition, and he could get away with it if Anthony Joshua refuses. So, yeah, I understand. It's a funny one, because even Eddie Hearn said in his interview, I think it was IFL TV, he said that, look, I would rather Anthony Joshua take some fights in between, and exactly what I just said, build the confidence, fight some easier fights, work on what you need to work on, iron out whatever you need to iron out, get your confidence back, rebuild, and then you fight someone like a Fury. Don't just jump into it now. But Hearn said that according to him, Joshua said that, look, I'm a fighter, I want to take it, I don't care, I want to get back on top, and I always wanted to fight Fury anyway, so I'm going to do it. So that's the mindset with Anthony Joshua. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, ladies and gents. I know it's a bit scattered what I've said in this video, but yeah, that's my thoughts are that, yes, it in one sense it makes sense. In one way it makes sense, because he might not, Fury, if he doesn't take it, Fury could just walk away and just spin a narrative or whatever. But in another sense, if he takes it and he wins, that's one of the greatest comeback stories, is something that no one would have seen coming, because I guarantee you everyone will be writing him off. Everyone will be picking Fury to win that fight if it happens. But let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think this is going to happen, AJ versus Fury in December? Or, do you think something's going to happen to scupper this fight? I, for one, wouldn't mind seeing it, but the fight I suppose I would rather see is undisputed between Fury and Usyk. I'd rather see that, and I'd rather see AJ rebuild. But let me know your thoughts on this situation. Fury v Joshua, does it happen? Who wins if it happens? And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.